The strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, neath the pale moon, loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a lone wolf.
Alright guys, so first of all, look, I want to apologise for yesterday. There was no video. I was abducted by aliens. No, the real reason was, guys, I slept in. I flaked out on my bed and forgot to set the alarm and just fell asleep and didn't wake up until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And unfortunately, work this week is crazy. So yeah, yeah, try and bear with me if I'm a little disorganized, because my boss decides to give me 38 hours of work in like 4 days. Because, you know, it's not like I have anything else to do, right? But let's jump into it. Let's get all this stuff all sorted out. Let's talk about some oppressing stuff. Let's talk about some stuff that'll make you want to buy, and then some stuff that'll probably make you want to go and play in traffic. But no guarantees. But obviously, at the end of the day, I can't seem to find Satellite of Discontent. I'm not sure where he is at the moment. If he is listening or if he wants to jump in, please feel free to. Obviously, you know the Discord. Apart from that, guys, everybody else, jump into it. Let's break down this shit show that we call the news. Because there's some things that have happened. And things that we knew were going to happen. And things that we weren't surprised are going to happen. And some things that totally shocked me that happened. Like this, for example. ISIS bride Shamia Begum stripped of British citizenship after showing no remorse for fleeing to Syria. Satellite's not here, so I'm going to deactivate his all. There we go. Bing. But yeah, if he jumps in, I'll turn it back on. But an official Home Office letter breaking the shocking news that was discovered to the teen's disappointment family earlier today. So, ISIS bride Shamia Begum has been stripped of her British citizenship after showing no remorse for joining the terror group. Oh my god, who would have thought? Now, an official Home Office letter breaking the shocking news was delivered to Begum's disappointed family earlier today. You mean if you go and join a terrorist group and then you want to come home? They're not going to put up with that shit? Oh my god, I'm surprised. I'm actually more surprised at the fact that the UK actually did it, but anyway. I always thought the government over there were a bunch of cucks, but it seems like they've got some balls. Please find enclosed papers that release to a discussion taken by the Home Secretary to deprive your daughter, Shamia Begum, of her British citizenship, the letter read. In light of the circumstances of your daughter and the notice of the Home Secretary's decision has been served of filing today, February the 19th, and the order removing her British citizenship has subsequently been made. Well done. Congratulations, I support this. The letter, obtained by ITV News, went on to urge the Belgian family to make their daughter aware of the decision, while adding she had the right to appeal. It's not yet known if the ban will affect her newborn son, Jariah, who is half British and half Dutch. The schoolgirl's family have said they are disappointed by the Home Office decision, said their lawyer Tanagi, what his name is. We are considering all legal avenues to challenge this decision, he tweeted. Your daughter's literally a terrorist. Well, actually she's a traitor, but anyway. We'll get to that in a sec. In my opinion, she's a traitor, I should say. But anyway, Begum's dual nationality is, as both her parents are of Bangladeshi, reportedly cleared the way for today's decision. However, Mr. Ananki, I might be mispronouncing that, told The Independent the 19-year-old is a sole British national and had never had a Bangladesh passport. No, but she did go and fight for the opposition, didn't she? The Home Office has declined to comment on Maliki's allegations, but said, "We do not make people stateless." But I don't care if they do or don't, really. But anyway. Why do I have Gamers Caf coming up on my Twitter account? I have the wrong social media thing coming up. Weird. I'm just going to switch to that one for now. But yeah, but guys, apart from that, look, at the end of the day, what's my view, what's my takeaway on all this? I kind of support it, to be honest. Yeah, I really don't have a problem with them doing this. Look, at the end of the day, let's face facts. The daughter ran off to fight with ISIS, okay? She is literally, as far as I'm aware, gone through and is... I don't know, how do you say this nicely? Treason? Isn't it treason, really? Because at the end of the day, she's gone, she's fought for the enemy. She's fought an enemy combatant. She's fought with an enemy combatant against her own country. That's treason, is it not? Am I mistaken in thinking that this is treason? Because to me, this kind of makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I really don't have a problem with this, to be honest. I think good on them for doing it, to be honest. I support this decision. Yeah, I can't see the problem in this. But, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Guys, here, what are your thoughts there in the comment section below? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is treason? Do you think at the end of the day she should be allowed? For me, personally, I think this is a good thing. And at the end of the day, I say I reckon every country should do it. Someone said in chat... congratulations, the British government did something right. Yeah, Minnie, it's a bit like that, isn't it? Like I said, look, I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised they actually went through with this. I'm surprised the British government actually had the balls to do it and didn't cuck. So, congratulations to the UK government, I suppose, for doing something right. But yeah, I kind of support this decision wholeheartedly. I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you support this? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? Do you think that all people that do this should be or should have their passports removed regardless of where they were born or their parents? Look, at the end of the day, I would even say that even if you were born in the UK, if you go and fight for ISIS and you fight for an enemy combatant or an enemy army against your own country, that's treason. Shit, they used to kill treason. Now they seem to welcome them home for some reason. So, yeah, kind of support this. Really, really do. Alright, let's jump on to the next news. Treason, yeah, man, that's what I'd say, Minnie. I'd say it's treason too. Trump administration launches global effort to end criminalization of homosexuality. But I thought Trump was homophobic and racist and bigot and all those other words they like to say. Isn't that what they keep telling me? I don't know. Anyway, the Trump administration is reporting in the part... the Trump administration is responding in part to a report hanging... Oh, sorry, yeah, okay, sorry, it was off the screen. The administration is responding in part to a reported hanging of a young gay man in Iran, Trump's top geopolitical foe. Yeah, this smells like it's more political than anything, but anyway. Berlin, the Trump administration is launching the global campaign to end the criminalization of homosexuality in dozens of nations where it's still illegal to be gay. The US officials told NBC News a bid aimed in part of denouncing Iran over its human rights record. But, you know, they don't talk about Saudi Arabia, do they? The US ambassador Richard Grenell, might be mispronouncing Janelle, the highest profile openly gay person in the Trump administration, is leading the effort, which kicks off Tuesday evening in Berlin. The US embassy is flying in LGBT activists from across Europe for a strategy dinner to plan and push for decriminalization in places that still outlaw homosexuality, most concentrated in the Middle East, Africa, and the Caribbean. It's concerning that in the 21st century, some 70 countries continue to have laws that criminalize LGBTI status or conduct, said the US official involving in organizing the event. So although the decriminalization strategy is still being hashed out, officials say it's likely to include working with the global organizations like the United Nations, the European Union, and the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, as well as other countries whose laws already allow for gay rights. Other US embassies and diplomatic posts throughout Europe, including the US mission to the EU, and are involved. As a State Department brewer of Democrat, Human Rights, and Labour. To me, this seems like it's trying to basically have a shot at Iran. I do find it funny that they're concentrating on Iran when Saudi Arabia is also one of the worst countries out there for human rights. But boy, let's not talk about that. So look, yeah, I do think that at the end of the day, this is very much one-sided. This is very much them trying to stabilize Iran to a certain point. Maybe if they can get enough people upset over the way this kid has been treated by this reported hanging, and like I say, it is reported. It's not, factual just yet that we know of. But yeah, maybe if they can go through and destabilize the Iran government enough or something, get people to rise up or something. That would be my theory. I think this is more political than it is, policy, for lack of a better word. I think Trump is mostly doing it just because of the fact that it basically screws over Iran. Look, obviously he is for the LGBT community and stuff like that. I'm not saying he's not. But, yeah, to me this just seems more political than anything. But, I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Obviously, Trump to launch worldwide fight to decriminalize homosexuality. Basically the same thing we've read. But we'll launch an effort to decriminalize homosexuality in countries where it's still illegal as a part of a diplomatic push for LGBTQ. An effort to isolate Iran, which prosecutes homosexuality. Like I said, everybody seems to be focusing on Iran, but no one seems to be talking about the other countries that do it too, which is really weird for me. If you want to go have a shot at Iran over this, fine. There's probably a reason for that. But at the end of the day, why not get the other countries that do just as bad, if not worse? The ones that Trump might necessarily sell arms to. Those ones. Let's not forget those ones either, Trump, eh? And like I say, to me, this is more political than it is policy. This is him just trying to destabilize Iran because they've worked out they're not going to go in with their military and whatnot. Someone said in chats when I bring it up. Sorry guys, the screen keeps refreshing. 7 Graham. Hey 7, how are you, man? He's making the next senseless war palatable for the SJWs. Soon they'll have to back him and war. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think he's trying to destabilize Iran by forcing the people to rise up like Venezuela. So I think he's trying to do a soft coup from inside Iran more than anything. But yeah, obviously look at the end of the day, LGBTQ whatever, fine, great, terrific, live your life how you want to live it, sort of thing. I just don't like it when Trump goes using this sort of stuff for a political point of view, and that's what this is. This to me seems more political than it does for, you know, for the better of humanity sort of thing. And like I say, everybody's talking about Iran. Okay, what about Indonesia? What about Saudi Arabia? What about, you know, or Iraq? All these sort of places. Why are we focusing solely on Iran, which, by the way, has a pretty good record when it comes to actually protecting Christians from Muslims? But regardless, why are we talking about Iran when there's also other places? Why is everybody laser focusing on that and not Saudi Arabia, for example, or Indonesia, or wherever it may be? You know, if you want to go and push this homosexuality decriminalization thing, fine. But let's do it to all the countries. Let's not do it just to the ones where you have a problem with the current administration, right? That's all I'm saying. Bernie Sanders launches second presidential campaign. Oh my God, who is shocked? Is he going to be alive by the time the election is ran? Anyway, the months after deliberation, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders announced Tuesday that he is running for president again in 2020. It will be Sanders' second conclusive bid for the Democratic National after losing to Hillary in 2016. This could actually be a problem for Trump. But anyway, I'm asking you to join me today as a part of unprecedented historical grassroots campaign. Please, Bernie. That will begin with at least 1 million people from across the country, he wrote in an email to supporters on an interview on Vermont Public Radio. Sanders enters the 2020 race as one of the frontrunners. A remarkable turn for the Democratic Socialist, who 3 years ago was viewed as a protest candidate from the political fringe. Today, Sanders is one of the most popular politicians among the Democratic voters and his policy agenda. A suite of progressive proposals to expand healthcare, broaden social safety net, and make higher education free has been embraced by many of the Democratic Party's leading figures. Yet none of them can seem to find a way to fund it. But anyway, I can tell you that we're very happy and think of any objective observer would confirm what I'm saying is that the most last year or so, Democratic Party has moved in a far more progressive direction than they were before I ran for president, he said in an interview with CNN last year. Put in the run-up to his announcement, Sanders and a top aide suggested the decision would ultimately turn on as much a simple question whether he was the best candidate to defeat President Trump next year. But in Tuesday morning email, a video announcing his run, Sanders had described Trump as a pathological liar, a fraud, a racist and a sexist and a xenophobic, and someone who is undermining American democracy as he leads us in an authoritarian direction. Oh, Bernie, you gotta lay off the crack. Is also set out loftier goals. Our campaign, he said, is about transforming our country and creating a government based on the principles of economic, social, radical, and environmental justice. So, in other words, he's going to take a page out of AOC's book, by the sounds of it. In a message to the rich and powerful special interests, Sanders wanted, they may have money and the power, but we have the people. Which is funny, because wasn't it their money that you took last time, Sanders? But anyway. By 7:30 a.m. ET, the aide told CNN the campaign had received donations and signed up from all 50 states. Now, obviously, Bernie Sanders' campaign raises more than $1 million in less than 4 hours. Senator Bernie Sanders has raised more than $1 million for his 2020 presidential campaign in less than 4 hours, his team confirms, putting him well ahead of other contenders who have launched their bids with strong financial support. Sanders, Vermont, formally joined the presidential race Tuesday morning, tells CBS this morning he intends to win the Democratic nominee and the White House next year. We're going to win, he told CBS this morning. Co-host John Dickerson. In the second run, Sanders is vowing to launch a grassroots movement that will lay the groundwork for transforming the economic and political life of this country. An aide confirmed Tuesday morning that Sanders has easily raised more than $1 million in the first 3.5 hours since the senator launched his campaign at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren, Kristen Gabin, and Cory Booker did not see similar spikes when they launched their campaigns, but each has millions of dollars in their Senate campaign account that they have opted to transfer in a presidential campaign account. Warren had about $12.5 million in her 2018 re-election campaign coffers and start of the year. Gillibrand had about $10 million. Booker campaign had about $4.1 million at the end of 2017, according to the federal election campaign. No worries, Minnie. Have a great night. Yeah, tonight was a little late. I'm going to try and do the videos an hour earlier, guys. So, 9 a.m. Australian time. Hey, Sunless, how are you, buddy? So, obviously, look at the end of the day. Look, is Bernie Sanders a threat to Trump? Sure. But will he... See, this is the thing, right? Okay, so the Democrats, you got two sides of Democrats. You got the far left, the progressives, the ones that are anti-establishment or anti-world order or anti-globalist and all that sort of stuff, which is ironic because they're being bankrolled by George Soros mostly. But they're the anti-military industrial complex. They're the ones that are obviously pushing this far left progressive. Then you've got the normal ones, the normal Democrats that are more like your Hillary Clinton. They're your center left, you know, your blue collar Democrats sort of thing, as you'd like to call them. Now, they've got support from the military industrial complex. I really, really doubt, and this is why I reckon that the military industrial complex allowed Hillary Clinton to A, win the primary, and B, help her conceal it. I really doubt the military industrial complex is going to support Bernie Sanders or anybody from the far left. They are more likely going to support someone who is, for example, like Hillary Clinton, because it's in their best interests. And what I find very interesting is that Hillary Clinton alumni swipe at Bernie Sanders as he launches 2020 campaign. Bernie Sanders is going to cop it from both sides here. He's going to cop it from the Trumpers, and he's going to cop it from the Democrats that are actually in, for example, the military-industrial complex and those center-left Democrats. The ones that don't necessarily want to give up what power they have. And they sure as shit, the military-industrial complex is sure as shit not going to give it up to Bernie Sanders. If they have a choice between Trump and Bernie Sanders, the military-industrial complex is more likely to go with Trump than Bernie Sanders. That's how much they hate Bernie Sanders. And I find it very interesting that Hillary Clinton's alumni are already attacking Bernie Sanders. Do you really think they're going to let him win? Do you really think the primary for the Democratic nominee isn't going to be rigged yet again to make sure one of these far left loons, as I like to call them, will not win? If anybody, like, Bernie has a better chance than like AOC or someone that far left winning, sure. And if it comes down to it, they'll side with Bernie Sanders over someone that's far left progressive. But they're more likely going to be happy with someone who is a center leftist. Someone like Michelle Obama. Someone like Oprah Winfrey, for example. Or Hillary Clinton. Or someone that is going to serve the military-industrial complex. And yeah, I do find it. Like he says here, Hillary Clinton, 70, won 2016 popular votes by 2,864,000. Well, that's debatable depending on how many illegals you get. Won 2016 primaries by 3,708,000. Media, go away. Bernie Sanders, age 77, lost 2016 primaries by 3,708,294 votes. Media, welcome back. So they're already starting to attack him already. And the Trumpers haven't even jumped in yet. Like, whew. Zach says, I hope Senator Harris will have a good time, have the good sense, to bring a copy of the 1994 crime bill with her that Sanders supported. So, like, you know, like I say, this is the former director of the Rapid Response. Claims Sanders couldn't walk back his support for a 1994 crime bill because he criticized Clinton for her inconsistencies. Already, the deep state is already attacking him already. And it's been, what, a day since he announced it. Like, Bernie, man, you got one hell of a fight on you. Like, yeah. And like I say, look, he is probably one of the bigger threats to Trump. He does have a fan base. And anybody that says that, you know, at the end of the day, his supporters have gone away, no, they haven't. And I do think he will be a challenge for Trump. He will. He is one of the worst case scenarios that I can think of. So, yeah, you know, if he can survive the primaries, it's going to be tough. And it's going to be an interesting battle. And it's going to be interesting because people kept saying, oh, if Bernie had won against Hillary, Bernie might have beaten Trump. Bernie would have beaten Trump. Well, guys and girls, we're about to find out. We're about to find out exactly who would have won that battle. Because it's looking like it's going to be 2020. And also, you got to remember too, you know, like Bernie Sanders is 77. If he runs and for another 4 years, and if he wins, he's going to be what, 78, 82? Like, have we ever had a president who died in the Oval Office because of old age? I don't know. But anyway. So, alright, let's go through some of these comments because I've sort of been on a bit of a tirade and I haven't read them out. Thanks, people. The people giving Sanders money are going to get something or other again. The DNC will pick it again. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying there, Sunless. I don't think the DNC is going to allow this. The DNC, a military-industrial complex, they're not going to allow this to happen. But, you know, hey, you know, waste your money, I suppose. The reform they supposedly did, freaking reload, was voluntary for each state. My prediction is that no state will adopt it. Hillary loves war. I respect Tusk, but yes, the military industrial won't allow it. I agree with you, Ashley Sunless. Lee says, greetings from Minnesota. Hello, Lee. How are you, darling? Sunless, it would be hilarious if Hillary ran. Fingers crossed. Oh, God, that would be funny. We wouldn't have to worry about memes. We just, you know, recycle all the old ones. Sunglasses says, oh, he didn't lose. It was rigged. Yeah, it's true. There was like a whole bunch of questions and everything that were given out beforehand and everything. They literally bent over backwards to help her. Sunless, remember Hillary was all about getting those super predators. Yeah, that's true. She's very harsh on crime, actually. Sunless, that's what I say. She's center left. She's not a far left progressive, which is why the military-industrial complex likes her. Sunless, Tusk, Bernie would have a chance to beat Trump. Won't happen though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go counting him out just yet. Because at the end of the day, I don't know. There's some old fight left in that dog just yet. So, yeah, we'll just see what happens, I suppose. But anyway, moving along. Washington Post compares Trump to Hitler over emergency for border wall. You know, if a Trump supporter was to hold up this sign, like, holy shit, we'd never hear the end of it, right? Trump supporters can't even jokingly do the Roman salute to a bunch of far-left progressives that are calling them Nazis as a joke, let alone hold up a poster. But anyway, Washington op-ed Tuesday comparing President Donald Trump's declaration of national emergency on the border with the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party during Germany's Weimar Republic. The article, Emergency Powers Helps Hitler Rise, Germany has avoided them ever since, was written by University of Maryland professor Jeffrey Hosvitz, who considers Trump an emergency declaration at the border absurd. Because, obviously, look, at the end of the day, he doesn't have a dog in the fight, right? But anyway. Heffer admits that the President Trump is not a later-day Hitler, although he asserts that the president is a bundle of authoritarian and liberal impulses and desires. How do you be authoritarian and a liberal impulses? Anyway, then that his actions could lead to tyranny. It's funny because it's the left that want to shut down freedom of speech and everything like that. But anyway, the left want to shut down freedom of speech. The left want to get rid of guns. The left want bigger, powerful government. Like, and you're trying to claim that Trump is all that, right? President Trump's declaration of national emergency to seek funds for a border wall on the southern U.S. border. Relief is for authority of the 1976 National Emergency Acts, which gives presidential sweeping powers to address what they declare an urgent crisis. But for a historian of modern Germany, it's impossible to avoid recalling the way emergency declarations unsettled the Weimar Republic after World War I. On March 24th, 1933, the Reichstag passed the Enabling Act, which gave Hitler executive authority without any pretense of parliamentary power. Later generations of German leaders saw the emerging power of Weimar Constitution as enabling Hitler's rise to power. In view of Trump's absurd declaration of emergency, is now a good time for the Americans entrusted with protecting our democracy are pondering these lessons of German history. It's absolutely stupid to compare Hitler and Trump. It really is ridiculous to do that. They are nothing alike, and they're nothing. Trump is like pro free speech, and like, you know, like he's the one that's like fighting all this censorship. Well, trying to anyway. It's not exactly authoritarian, is it? But yeah, like Eric says in Trump. Here we go with the Trump is literally Hitler rhetoric again. It's laughable at this. And totally agree with you, Eric, man. It is. I am so sick of hearing how Trump is like Hitler. Like, Jesus, just give it a rest. Although the Russian narrative has fallen apart, so they've got to have something else, I suppose. Look, at the end of the day, I would say the left, far left especially at the moment, is more like anybody at the moment. They want bigger government, they want to get rid of guns, they want to go through, they censor people that they don't agree with. That is literally authoritarian. So, yeah. Trump is pro-Israel and his daughter is married to a Jew. Yeah, shh. Sunglasses, shh, alright? You're making too much sense, alright, buddy? Stop it. Just stop it. But yeah, he's pro-Israel. It's so much for being, you know, literally Hitler, isn't it? But anyway. Bit of an update on the Jussie Smollett situation. Obviously, guys, if you've been following us, we even know that we've been following it pretty intensely. So the FBI debating whether Jussie Smollett involved in sending hate letter to himself. Does that mean he sent himself a hate crime? Federal law enforcement officials are investigating whether actor-singer Jussie Smollett was involved in sending a threatening letter to himself at Empire's Chicago studio before allegedly staging a racist and homophobic attack on himself last month, according to a report. According to ABC News, FBI and the U.S. Postal Inspection Service officials are probing to the manner after two Nigerian brothers said to have helped stage the attack accused Smollett of playing a role in sending the letter. Further, ABC News reports the letter, mailed to the studio on January 22nd, is undergoing FBI crime lab analysis. Look, at the end of the day, this whole situation to me, I would be involved. In my personal opinion, I think he's actually involved in this, and I think he did it because he wanted attention. By the way, has anyone noticed that this guy, this Jussie Smollett, is a far leftist? Like, he's resist President Trump. He was literally supposed to be in an interview where he was talking about how much he resists the 45th, as they like to call it. Like, he's an anti-Trumper. Trump derangement syndrome literally has got this guy going through sending himself hate crime or hate mail or threats in the mail so that he can be oppressed and blame it as a part of Trump's America. The mental gymnastics you have to go through to think this is a good idea. It is just really amazing, but regardless, I suppose. TMZ's Fox Studios keeping Jussie Smollett as an Empire regular. Fox broadcast company, the network that airs the hit drama Empire, will keep actor Jussie Smollett as a series regular in the wake of reports he staged an attack on himself in Chicago last month, according to TMZ reports. The report comes amid reports that Smollett conducted a staged attack against himself after receiving a racist letter addressed to him failed to evoke a bigger reaction. When the letter didn't get enough attention, he conducted the staged attack, and the sources told CBS's Brad Edwards, who reported other sources collaborated the information. A letter with white powder was sent in January 22nd to a Chicago set where Empire was filming in the days leading up to the alleged stage attack. Chicago police spokesman Anthony Garmetti, you might be mispronouncing, confirmed to CNN that hazmat team was called to the SinSpace studios where the program was being shot after the letter was discovered. The substance was determined to be powdered aspirin, Gamali says. TMZ previously reported Somali had received a letter at Fox Studios that said, die something something. The FBI is reportedly investigating the letter. As a press representative of Smollett's critical crisis management firm said Monday that the actor had no plans to meet with Chicago police after detectives obtained new evidence while interrogating two Nigerian brothers, Abil and Amar Osana, I'm getting those names wrong, said to have helped stage the attack. Look, at the end of the day, if you can't be repressed, I suppose, go and fake it, I suppose. That's all I can say, really. Look, I was very suspicious about this thing the first day we heard about it. We literally called this was going to be end up being... I called it then. I said I'd be very surprised if this was not a fake attack. So, yeah, I would say... I'm not surprised. I do find it funny, the people that went on about this attack went on about how it's, you know, Trump's America, like Cory Booker, for example, are now having to eat crow. And they're now turning around saying, well, hang on, let's just wait until we get all the facts. Okay. All right, Cory. You know, you weren't exactly doing that the first time, were you? But anyway. But yeah, I think this is a staged attack. I think this is a fake attack. And at the end of the day, I would say, yeah, I would say that this is most likely going to end up being that he staged it himself. He staged it himself because he wanted to get attention or whatever it may be. So, I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Do you reckon it's fake or do you reckon it's real? Greetings from Mobile, Alabama. Good morning, Philip. How are you, buddy? Sunglasses says, hi. Lee, do any of these libtard idiots know anything about history? Fascism came from socialism. After all, Nazi Party started as the National Socialist Germany's Worker Party. Leah, you're using too much sense, darling. Please refrain from that, okay? This is a no-sense policy. But yeah, you're right. Literally, Trump was a socialist. He was also a nationalist, which is why they think it's Trump. It's a case of them literally saying, well, he was a patriot, Trump's a patriot, so therefore Trump is literally Hitler. And that's how they get those two. But yeah, moving along. Trump, greatest president or greatest president ever? Discuss. I don't know if he's the greatest president ever. Philip, I would say, look, he's one of the better ones, I reckon. He's done a lot of good, yeah. So he's one of the better presidents. I want to see what he does in his second term before I go making a decision about it. But anyway, Lee, hello. I'm in a little town about 15 miles. Oh, okay, yeah. Sunglasses. Trump is the greatest, great emperor of mankind. Yeah, it's funny. That whole emperor meme. Did you guys see that emperor, Trump emperor thing? That was funny. Mega, hello Leah, yep, similarly, actually it's Stanford, but, okay, yeah, no mind, you guys just, yeah. Philip, yep, that's it, well done, thank you. Definitely fake, he's lost his mind. Okay. Yeah, I think he's Trump derangement syndrome at 1,000 miles an hour. But we'll have to wait to see obviously the report. I don't know if they're going to charge him with it. That'll be interesting. But yeah, I would support that actually, because he's wasted resources. So he's wasted resources, he's wasted money, he's wasted police time in this whole fake crime. So yeah, they seem to think national is the same as nationalist. Yeah, well, they're rather simple, aren't they, Leah? But anyway, let's keep going. Here's a list of hoax hate crimes in the Trump era. So Daily Caller has gone through and talked about the hate crimes that have happened since Trump's won the election. Anti-Muslim hate crime in Michigan turns out to be a hoax. A Muslim woman at the University of Michigan received national attention from news outlets like the Washington Post 2016 November after claiming a drunk 20-something man threatened to light on fire if she didn't remove her hijab, which turned out to be a hoax. Bisexual student fakes Trump-inspired hate crime. Gas station racism goes viral. White men robbed Muslim over her hijab and wallet, except it never happened. Church organization vandalized own church. And it just, like, it just keeps going and going and going and going. Like, it's just absolutely insane. They talk about the Connington kids. Yeah. So, yeah, guys, obviously, look, I'll put a link in the description below. Check that out. A list of all the fake crimes. It is quite a very long list. And I imagine there's probably stuff they've missed as well. Alright, 3 topics left. Actually, 2 topics left, actually. Nick Salmon's lawyer files $250 million lawsuit against the Washington Post for their Covington Catholic smears. Lynn Wood, the high-profile attorney representing Covington Catholic students, Nick Salmon, has filed a $250 million lawsuit against the Washington Post for defamation. The lawsuit claims that the paper vilified the students that was seen in a viral video being confronted by far-left activist Nathan Phillips because of the fact that he is white. While filed in the U.S. District Court in Kentucky, the 38-page complaint says that the Post wrongfully targeted and bullied Nicholas because he was white Catholic school student wearing the red Make America Great Again souvenir cap on a school field trip to January 18th of March. Start again. To the January 18th March for Our Life in Washington, D.C., where he was unexpectedly and suddenly confronted by Nathan Phillips. When asked by the Gateway Pundit as this compares to the lawsuit Hulk Hogan filed against Gawker, Wood explained that his client has justification for a bigger claim. So the Gawker actually had to pay, or was awarded, Hulk Hogan $150 million. And these guys are after 250, sorry. Now, obviously, here, Nick Sandmann sues Washington Post for $250 million over defamation coverage. The attorneys for the Covington Catholic High School student Nick Sandmann filed against the Washington Post on Tuesday, seeking $250 million in compensatory and punitive damages. Look, at the end of the day, I like it. I really do. Look, I don't want to be the type of person that goes around and sues everybody all the time. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. But in this situation, I think that making an example out of the mainstream media, I can get behind that. They deliberately lied about these kids. They deliberately doctored or edited footage of these kids. Like, they literally made references to the full video in their first articles. So they had seen it. They had seen that full video. And they chose to show only that 8 seconds or 10 seconds or 15 seconds or whatever it was clip. To me, that shows them trying to push a narrative. Them trying to edit something out of context. So, good on the kid. Good on him, good on his lawyer, and I hope they win. Take him to the friggin' cleaners. I really do hope he wins. And after that, go through the rest of them. You know? Take out, you know, Kathy Griffith. You know, go on, you know, the Young Turks. Go on all of them. Go on all of them that said that you were harassing this guy. And take out the ones that deliberately lied about you. If it was a mistake, if they've apologized and it was a sincere mistake, I really don't have a problem with that. Okay, fine. We all make mistakes. Alright? But at the end of the day, if it's malicious, and if it was like the mainstream media deliberately trying to push a narrative on this, yeah, sue the crap out of them. Take them to the cleaners, burn their media empires to the ground if you have to. Maybe after that, they will learn they can't go through and keep doing this shit. And that would be what I want. That would be my idea. Would be, you know, just make an example out of them. And after a while, hopefully they'll all fucking learn not to do this shit. Because I'll tell you now, I'm so sick of this fake news that goes around. There's so much crap in the news. Really is ridiculous. Calling me sunglasses one more time, Trash Panda. Sunglasses, sunglasses, sunglasses. It's sunless, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know why I keep calling you sunglasses. I'm sorry, man. Sunless. Sunless, sunless, sunless. There you go. Jason Smollett should be charged with a hate crime for his hatred of our president. I don't want to say that. felt because at the end of the day, then that's just his opinion. He's allowed to have his opinion, whether he likes the president or not. But him sending himself mail, like hate mail and stuff in the mail, him wasting resources because of the president and everything like that, that to me is where he should be sued, where he should be charged. I don't want to charge him because he hates the president. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I want to charge him because at the end of the day, he's wasting resources. He's wasting time that could have actually been used on something else. You know, how many people were mugged, for example, and didn't get the police to come out in time or whatever it may be because of this case? Because of this Jussie Smollett case. How many pickpocketers? How many, people that were not off a 7-Eleven? Armed robberies, whatever it may be. How many other crimes have happened because Jussie Smollett wanted a little bit of attention? And that's where I have a problem. I saw a meme that said something like, America, a country so great you have to hire people to oppress you. I thought it was funny. That might have been on my Twitter, actually, Eric. I actually saw that on Facebook and I reposted it on Twitter. So it might have been mine you actually see. If you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen it there. The Jewish guy is Israel, did over 1,000 fake bomb threats to himself. I posted it in the Discord earlier today. Okay, I'll have a look at that right now. General, was it? Yeah, okay, here it is here. So, I'll put this on the screen. So that's the archive version of it when it comes up. But I see that the media is pretending the fake hate crime perpetrated by Jussie Smollett is an isolated incident, which it's not. This is the case as you'll read in this article. US Israeli man sentenced to 10 years over anti-Semitic bomb threats on NBC. Oh yeah, we've actually covered this. So the Jewish man got 10 years for staging over 2,000 anti-Semitic hoaxes in 2016 and 2017. So much for the Nazi narrative, bruh. Yeah. So here he is here. Israeli man sentenced to 10 years over anti-Semitic bomb threats. I think he was actually in Israel, wasn't he, at the time? In passing sentence, the court said the defendant offered on the dark web to make bombs and shooting threats for money, earning about $240,000 worth of the digital currency Bitcoin. So yeah, I think he was only young when he was only like 18, 19 or something, I think, at the time. But yeah, he was literally staging bomb threats and whatnot. Look, at the end of the day, it's fairly common. It's that common now with hate crimes and stuff like that. Matt Christensen, who does the Beauty and the Beta podcast, actually has a segment on his show called Fake Hate Crimes, and they pretty much have a episode every week. There's been a few weeks they haven't had it, but the majority of the weeks they've had this fake hate crime segment, because there's just so much of it this time. The stupid things like people that are putting the Nazi cross back to front. People that are signing letters, the KKK, and all this sort of shit. And ends up being completely fake. So, yeah. I hope he wins. Those boys didn't do anything wrong. Right on. Me too. Sue the crap out of them. Money's one of the few ways that'll actually hurt them. That's true, Lee. It's going to be a very profitable march for our life. I say God bless them. Eric, as for this Nathan Phillips, for a man who went AWOL multiple times, I think it was 3 actually in the end, I said he can't rightfully call himself a veteran. Well, technically, Eric, he can call himself a vet because he did serve, but yeah, his rank wasn't that impressive. He went AWOL 3 times. Like, he's a freaking repairman for a refrigerator. Like, yeah, man, like, come on. Technically, yeah, you're right, you're a vet, technically. But you're sure as shit not a Vietnam vet like you originally stated back in the old days. And at the end of the day is what the media tried to make yourself out to be. Lee, the fake threat letter going through the US Postal Service is an automatic federal crime. That is actually true. Sending yourself a hate crime in the mail is a federal crime. Even if you send it to yourself, I'm pretty sure. It's forwarded through the Postal Service. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Yeah, you're right, Lee, it is. And it's serious shit. But how deranged do you have to be to send yourself a hate letter so you can get attention? Hate crime hoaxes are a dime and a dozen. True, Sunless. See, I got it right. Sunless, you're so right, but he's really screwed up when he committed fraud through the US Postal Service. Yeah, I would say that was the biggest thing that he's done wrong. If he had have just, you know, wrote on his own door or something like that with paint or whatever it may be, he might have had a chance of getting away with it. But actually sending this stuff through the US Postal Service, that is a bad thing. That is a very, very serious thing. So yeah. But yeah, look, obviously we'll keep an eye. We'll let you know any updates. But yeah, at the moment I would say it's a very serious problem for him. He's probably sweating, which is probably why he's no longer refusing to cooperate with police departments. But moving along. Anyway, one of the things I probably should have put with Trump and his wall, but Mexican army seizes 2 tons of fentanyl near the US. So obviously this is going to help Trump when he goes on about, you know, it's an emergency, stuff like that. But the elements of the Mexican army seized more than 2 tons of methamphetamine. I'm getting that wrong. I know you guys are kind of comment in the comment section, aren't you? Cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, and marijuana during separate security operations in the border states of Sonora and Bajau, California, late last week. The bust yielded 1 arrest. Only 1? The first incident occurred in the 2nd Military Region near Ethe. Troops spotted a truck on a dirt road in a known area as La Centra next to white Chevrolet truck. The occupants of the second vehicle fled as the soldier approached, according to local reporting. Army personnel say they found 1,366 plastic containers containing 1,989.4 pounds of methamphetamine, I'm getting there, and 4.4 pounds of heroin, 17,052 fentanyl pills, and 1,060.7 pounds of marijuana, for a total weight of 3,053 pounds. Also discovered were 4 portable radios, walkie-talkies, and 5.72.22 caliber bullets. I don't care about so much. Just call it meth. It's easy to say. Thanks, Sunless. But yeah, I don't care about the pot so much, but the rest of it, oof, that's quite a big thing. In the second operation, Army personnel came upon a Freightliner semi-truck belonging to a transport Vega at a military checkpoint in Cuervo, Sonora, and the checkpoint is located on the Highway 15, approximately 100 miles south of Nogales, Arizona. An inspection produced 631 packages of meth, weighing 1,122 pounds, 14.3 pounds of cocaine, 17.6 pounds of heroin, Total weight of the contraband came out to 1,153 pounds. The driver was handed over to investigators of the State Attorney General's office. So look, at the end of the day, obviously, guys, yeah, obviously Trump always goes on about drugs at the border. And yeah, he's right when he says that. It is literally, yeah, that. I'm kind of glad this stuff is not going to be getting into the US anytime soon. I like the fact that they've done something about this. You can see the haul there. So it's quite a sizable haul. I don't really care about the pot so much. It's the rest of the stuff I really worry about. But yeah, at the end of the day, good on them, I suppose, for clamping down on it. But yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, good on them, I suppose. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below if you're watching this at a later date. What are your thoughts on any of these subjects that we've covered today? Apart from that, guys, obviously, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with my internet that seems to be going absolutely nuts. But yeah, it is getting upgraded hopefully sooner rather than later. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in today, listening to me, watching the show, everybody for sharing, everybody for clicking like on the video. We've got 5 likes, so woo! But yeah, guys, obviously at the end of the day, if you haven't smacked that like button, please do so. It does obviously help us out. Also, do feel free to share the video, because obviously that helps us out as well. Apart from that, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. I will be doing the same show again, or obviously the New Year's show, obviously because it's a daily news show. But yeah, I'll be doing the show tomorrow earlier. I'm going to try and do it an hour early. So obviously keep an eye out for the